Hello there, my friends. It's December 14th, 2016, and it's time to talk about today's big story. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you I'm not really a big tech guy as far as knowledge or interest goes, just because when it comes to me, when I'm playing games, I worry about the game being fun, not what's powering the game or anything like that. And that's not a knock against people that are interested in that stuff or care about that stuff. That's just my personal interest. With that said, I'm going to cover this story because I feel it's the biggest story of the day and I want to bring it to you. So today we're talking more Switch rumors, and this time we get really into the nitty-gritty of what's powering the Switch. So the guys over at GameBeat have gotten information from two sources who wish to remain anonymous, and they are giving details on just what's inside the Switch and how powerful it is. So we're going to break down a couple of the details for you, not the full thing, just because there's little tidbits that aren't as important, but we'll get you the bigger points, and you can hit up the feature on GoNintendo.com and check out yourself. So according to the sources, here's what's going on inside the Switch. It uses NVIDIA's older Maxwell architecture and not the new Pascal graphics technology that we've heard about. And that's because Nintendo wanted to get this system out. They needed their replacement for the Wii U, and they simply couldn't wait for the Pascal chip to come out. They had to get Switch out, so if they waited, they would have had to push back the release date to Switch. And Wii U's been hurting for a long time now, so they made the decision to move on the older technology. So the Switch still uses a custom NVIDIA Tegra processor, but where does it fall in line when it compares to other systems? I'm sure that's what everybody wants to know. These sources say that it is not as powerful as a PS4, but it might be as powerful as an Xbox One. And games that run on a PS4 and Xbox One should be able to run on a Switch, but not all of them, not the highest end games. Those might need some extra tweaks to get to run on the Switch. So it's worth pointing out also that the Switch might not be powerful enough to run 4K visuals, and again, I don't know if that's something a lot of consumers are going to be upset about or not, but once you hear about the rumored information about the power behind the system, it's not too surprising to hear that kind of information. So all in all, it seems like the Switch is going to be a system that has some decent power behind it, and it's going to be up to the developers to see what they can squeeze out of it. We know that Nintendo's probably going to be able to get the best power and visuals out of the system, but surely other third parties can do the same, and if they're using engines like Unity or Unreal Engine 4, there'll be great support right off the bat, so they should be able to do some amazing things with it. We actually had another story lined up for today's big story, but then this came out like 10 minutes ago, so I knew I had to switch gears and get this one up there, and you guys are already talking about it, so let's see what you got to say. Nina Ninty Robo on Twitter says, I honestly feel being on par with the Xbox One is good enough. That'll make it powerful enough to run most third-party games. Yeah, I mean, you don't see too much discrepancy between what comes out on Xbox One or PS4, so you would hope that the Switch will be running there as well. There may be some, like they said, higher-end games that either won't come to the system or will need a little bit of tweaking or perhaps a good amount of tweaking to come out on the Switch, but hopefully we'll get most of those games and the support will be there, and you would have to imagine from what's being said, the gap between PS4, Xbox One, and Switch isn't too wide, but there will be a noticeable difference between the other two and Switch. Alright my friends, that's today's big story for December 14th, 2016. Thanks for watching and subscribing and thumbs up and sharing and all that other stuff. It is very much appreciated. We'll be back here tomorrow with another big story, and we'd love to see you here too. So have a wonderful night or a wonderful morning whenever you're watching this, and we will see you tomorrow. Hey guys, RMC here from GoNintendo. If you like what you saw in the video, why don't you give us a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe? We'd love to have you. If you want to see what else we're up to, you can check out GoNintendo.com for 24-hour Nintendo news. You can visit us on Facebook at facebook.com/GoNintendo. You can check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/GoNintendoTweet. And we're even over on Instagram at instagram.com/GoNintendo. I put all the links in the description just to make it easier for you guys to follow. Thanks a lot.